Today's Wednesday, June 3rd, 2015, and you're tuned in to the Elevator Radio Show. The Elevator Radio Show is a proud supporter of the Elevator Escalator Safety Foundation. To find out how you can make a difference, visit their website today, www.eesf.org. Got a great show for you today. Stay tuned. Here it comes.
You're tuned in to the Elevator Radio Show, a weekly program dedicated to covering news and information on elevators, escalators, and moving walkways. Produced in the wee hours of the morning, a new show is uploaded every Wednesday, sometimes even before you get out of bed. Listen to some of the comments sent in from our audience.
Rob from New York writes, Tom, are you f***ing insane? You actually get up at 2 a.m. each Wednesday to put this show out? Man, you must love elevators. Tim from Illinois writes, I'm not sure why I listened, but ever since I tuned into the first show back in 2007, I've been addicted. Matt in Texas writes, I like your safety messages, Tom. It's important to remember them each and every day. And he also adds,
when am I going to win the monthly prize pack giveaway?
Ron from California sent this in. Despite your inability to pronounce words in the English language, I tune in each week and am glad that you offer this service to the industry. It's better than Google News alerts. Sarah from Washington writes, love the show, Tom, and look forward to it each week. I'm glad I signed up for the newsletter. You provide a valuable resource for the industry, not only for North America, but worldwide.
Enjoy the show. And now, here's your sleep-deprived host, Tom Seibert.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Yes, it is good to be here this Wednesday morning. Yeah. Oh, come on. Enough already. Good to be here this Wednesday morning where, yes, it is early here in the Midwest and pretty much everywhere else west of the Central Standard Time Zone here in America. Those of you who are listening from the SICA show, the conference that's being held in Canada, America's Hat, in Vancouver. Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful time and a great conference and are learning all sorts of great stuff in addition to being able to network with friends, family, colleagues, all that good stuff. So Vancouver's a great city. I wish I could have attended this year, but next year, when the World Expo is held in Montreal, we will all be under one roof. So that'll be a lot of fun. That's next year. That's after, obviously after Boston. So anyway, it is amazing that it is June already. This is show number 400, which honestly, I thought we were rolling up on 500. I'm like, wait a minute. Isn't it 500? And I'm like, oh, so kind of a buzzkill. Figure that I won't hit the 500 mark until, probably another 2 years. You know, if you do the math, one show a week, et cetera, et cetera. So that's just kind of how it works. Anyway, but it is good to be here after, coming back last week after 3 weeks off, feeling much better. It is very busy at work. It's busy with my work with the Elevator Escalator Safety Foundation. It's busy with the Chicago Elevator Association. It is busy with Elevator U. All sorts of stuff going on, and busy at home with family. I got an 8th grader who's graduating on Monday. My sophomore had his awards banquet last night for the spring sports and volleyball. And Friday, I've got a couple of honor roll breakfasts to go to for my little guy. So it's like, oh my gosh, June is a busy, busy month. Throw that, throw your wife's birthday in there and an anniversary in July. It is just, man, it is busy, 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 busy. So what makes it worse? I don't mean to make it makes it worse. I should not complain. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. It's just busy. What makes it more interesting, I should state, is I forgot where I was going with this before I said what makes it worse. That was not the right thing to say. I'm going to digress from whatever thought process I was moving in because that is just not, it's not going to get me anywhere that I need to be right now. So anyway, but that's pretty much it. What's going on, here in the Midwest. Chicago has had some really kind of crappy weather in the last week or so. Cold weather, crazy. Sunday was cold and temps in the upper 40s. So unfortunately, my saying is once again true that you cannot count on it being warm in Chicago until the second week in June. I'm kind of wondering about that. So I set that expectation level up probably in the 90s for myself because I always through my, I was always like so excited when spring came and then when March rolled around, and just was crushed by the fact that the weather was just cruddy and cold and wet. And so I just gave that up. That's just what you got to do. And so we did that. And so, yeah, second week in June is when it is going to be nice. Got a good show for you today. Obviously, after last week's show, the 2 accidents that were covered on the program, 2 mechanics died, and we had 1 accident on the show this week. I do have some safety links that I encourage all of you to visit, to print out if you are not already holding toolbox meetings or safety meetings within your entity or organization. Make sure you're doing that. That's definitely just key. And, I know we all get busy. I get busy. And before you know it, it's fall, it's December, and you're like, hey, have I done my required quarterly meetings? But really make safety, make safety number one priority each and every week, every day. And let's get the information out there so that everybody can share on that. So anyway, so I did not get a chance to log in to check the email comments out, but as always, send them to elevatorradioshow@gmail.com. Thank you to everybody who has sent me articles. Greatly appreciate it. If you want to go over and subscribe to the podcast, encourage you to do so. Just click on go to elevatorradioshow.com. If you're listening to the show, click on the iTunes link. I think that one works. And that has the latest shows. But just keep in mind that there are many times that the show, it takes a couple of days to upload for some reason. So just keep that in mind. The Android app is there. There's an RSS feed. And obviously subscribe to the blog via the email link. Very important. Hey, one real quick note I want to let everybody know what's going on. Regarding the Elevator Escalator Safety Foundation, as many of you may or may not know, I am the current chairman, 2015 to 2016. I think our executive board is great, and also the staff at the foundation is awesome. We've been working really hard at ironing out the budget. And just give you a quick update, the new program development for the Safety Rider program, and for those of you that are not aware of that, go to eesf.org and click on the different program links up at the top. But anyway, long story short is, if you're not, if you've been living under a rock or haven't had any, knowledge of what's going on, is this printed program that we've been sending out to schools for the last, 19, 20 years. Is being revamped to the point where it's digital, it's online. There'll still be a paper entity part of it, but we did sign the contract with the marketing firm who is developing it. Have some great faith in the work that they've done in the past, what they're going to do with this program. The reality is, though, is that our fiscal year, the ESF fiscal year, ends the end of this month, June 30th, which means we have got to raise some funds to help cover the cost, thanks to the William C. Sturgeon Fund and matching grant program that Bill set up a long time ago, which is basically for any new program development, there's funding there, where as long as the foundation can raise half the funds, the other half of the funds will be moved to pay for the other part. So I think this is extremely generous for what Bill had done. And this is what the money's to be used for. So we are in a mad dash for the next month to collect as much funding as possible. And I will put a link into the show notes. But you might be receiving some emails, some posts, some calls in the next 29 or 26 or 25 days left, or whenever you're listening to the program. And we encourage you to support the foundation. This is our, as Sheila Sweat had mentioned during the IAC conference, this is our one fundraiser, or our one entity within our industry that we can all support and get behind, so that we can avoid accidents from occurring in the future. So enough of that, enough of my soapbox on that. Again, you'll probably see some more information as the shows progress. And up next, we'll get right into the news, have you out of here in no time.
Let this week's news stories give you a lift on what's happening in the vertical transportation arena. Each news segment is organically dug and fresh with news stories of the week. Got lift? If not, stay tuned.
All right, first news article, and actually is a link, Elevator World Books, or elevatorbooks.com, and this link is also shown on the next link. The 2015 Field Employees Safety Handbook is available for purchase. This thing's $11, people. I mean, I bet it didn't. I bet it cost not much less than that to print, to be honest with you. So please, if you are a contractor, buy one of these for each of your employees. All right, don't leave it up to the whomever you feel that should be buying this for your employees. Just take care of it. It's $11. Make sure every one of your mechanics has it. They might already have. In addition to that, if you go to the Elevator Industry Job Site Safety website, again, also a hosted and sponsored Elevator World site, there are some great links here that I don't think you realize are there. And I use them. Honestly, I've seen this before, and I always forget about it. I'm not on the contracting side, but it's cool. They got toolbox meeting. They've got a job hazard assessment form, safety handbook, safety products, links. There's a store, NEI papers, contest quiz. So really, there's some important information on this main page that outlines some of the accidents and statistics that have been compiled by, by the U.S. construction industry. And just give you an idea here, an average of 730 lives lives a year in construction were lost to 4 primary causes: falls to a lower level, contact with electrical current, highway incidents, and being struck by an object. Okay, you have basically 3 maybe here that deal directly with our. Well, yeah, 3 for sure. With our industry, we don't see too many that are related to electric current. But again, being struck by counterweights, whatever, not being aware of the hoistway, and then falling. Obviously, those 2 are huge in the work that we all do, whether we work, inspect, make the equipment for this equipment. So be careful and bookmark this page. Buy some stuff and start your safety program back up or keep it going. And make somebody responsible for this. It's that important. Next news article, again, just linking to the fact that this is needed, the safety information. SF gate reporting, worker critical after fall down elevator shaft. This was a construction site. It's not known whether or not this is an actual elevator constructor or not. I don't think that was the case, but I'm not 100% sure. But according to Cal OSHA, he fell from the 7th floor to the 6th floor. So had some broken bones. I think a pelvis is broken again. Be aware of your surroundings and make sure when you're on a job site, it's your responsibility as a construction worker in the elevator industry to make sure, those in other trades are aware of what's going on. Make it a point to ensure that, other trades know that elevator's not there. Don't start looking for it. Don't lean over, all that good stuff, okay? Here's a little more information on the accident that happened in Bloomington last week. Not a whole lot more shared on it, other than the fact that the name was released. And again, no malfunction was found in the elevator. It looks as if he was struck by the elevator on the other side of the hoistway, apparently based on the news article. And also some more information on the incident that occurred, or tragedy in New York. And they revealed the gentleman who had died. Awful accident. And again, obviously our hearts, our thoughts, our prayers go out to their families. And, if this doesn't hit home in terms of making sure safety is your number one priority each day, I don't know it will. So make sure each of us, and those you work with, go home to their families, respective families, each and every day. So, again, the lighter side, the Guardian's report. Actually, there's 2 articles online. Japan may install toilets and elevators for earthquake emergencies. I am a little shocked on this. And I can't believe that they're actually considering it because, if we move to a day where there are toilets inside elevators, I think we are moving in the wrong direction. But again, a little lighter. I hope this never happens. And in New York and in Chicago, in most transits, elevators are already being used as toilets, unfortunately. So, it's disgusting. So. Japan, I guess you're a little bit behind the curve, and you might as well install, a vending machine while you're at it. Okay, in Houston, obviously, most of you are aware that the, terrible flooding that occurred during those torrential storms last week. Man, the footage on that was just looked like Armageddon. And knowing that I've got some friends there, I just hope everybody's okay. Here's an article which I'm sure is not the only case where apartments or buildings were flooded. where elevators perhaps were underwater. But here's an article talking about that very fact for this one elevator. And again, just a good reason to install float devices in the pit, and also circuitry that will allow the elevator to ascend to a top landing and protect at least the elevator cab. And just so you know, I get calls all the time in my day job, people asking, hey, I want to make sure we put in water in a, waterproof equipment in the pit or the first hallway. And you know what, if anything's underwater, there's a good chance, even if it has a submersion rating, it's going to need to be replaced. So, it's kind of ridiculous. There's no way an elevator is going to run in water or should run in water. And after being flooded, obviously everything needs to be checked out. Next article, in India, the Times of India reporting that the Stone India Limited is setting up a plant for manufacturing escalators and elevators at the Taratala joint venture with a Chinese company. I guess this company, Taratala, also manufactures biotoilets. So maybe they're working together with Japan to coordinate the toilet elevator. I don't know. Okay. Next article, elevator stalls in Washington Monument. The first article that I read had basically 63 people.
I've had friends say...
I hate that. Sorry about that. Had 63 people stuck in an elevator. I'm thinking to myself, what elevator can fit 63 people in it? But they kind of recanted that story and instead said that there was an electrical issue and 62 people had to walk down the elevator, and then one had to be carried down, apparently. So, not sure how many elevators are in the Washington Monument. I know Elevator World did a story on this article, I think back, maybe it was one of the projects of the year. I'm not quite sure. I know we were involved in one of the lift device elevators there, but I just don't know. I'm not sure. If there's only one elevator, that's a little scary. So I have a feeling that might be the case, but I'm not 100% sure. If anybody wants to chime in on that, I'm sure I could find some information on Google as well, but if you want to share, elevatorradioshow@gmail.com. Patrick Duffy, if you don't know who this gentleman is, it's not just some Irishman. He might be an Irishman, but anyway, Patrick Duffy is the actor from Dallas, the good-looking guy I think most people really liked back in the day, and I used to watch Dallas back in the day. But apparently he's thanking a mystery stranger who saved him from a serious injury when he took a tumble down an escalator at an airport, and which I think is pretty cool. So nice of him to come out in public and do that. Glad he was okay, and nice of him to recognize whomever helped him, the Good Samaritan. So, okay, the Chicago Elevator Association golf outing has been released. Information has been released. To sign up, go ahead and get over to the link or cea-online.org. It's going to be held at the Glen Eagles Country Club in Lamont. There's a bunch of images here, also some PDFs to sponsor, and then also sign up. So get your registration in as soon as you can. Reality is that it takes a lot to put these events on, and the earlier they have that information, the better off they are. Some sad news to report from the wonderful state of Michigan. Clarence Pete Fox passed away on May 27, 2015. I met Pete on a couple of occasions. Real nice guy. Here's a great life story, obituary on Pete, and obviously our hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family. It's always sad when we lose an industry associate like this, and he was definitely a character to say the least, and he will be missed. Hardworking guy, just too sad that he did pass. So if you'd like to write something in his memorial book, please feel free to do so. Okay, next article coming from Bloomberg.com. This one I don't quite get. And what even kind of concerns me more is the fact that it's from Bloomberg Business. So I'm like, and the title is Elevator Makers May Face Similar China Decline as Mining Sector. What the heck is that? So there's something lost on the translation here, but the general gist of it here is weakening orders for elevators in China may indicate that manufacturers such as the majors are about to experience a similar plunge in local demand as the mining equipment industry. So I don't know. They're already talking about weakening orders in China. Why would that have anything to do with the mining equipment industry? I think there's something missing here in the translation, but it wouldn't be the first time I read an article online and scratched my head after the fact. Okay, Berlin, Germany. Apparently, their labor minister is backtracking from a new rule stipulating that old-fashioned jump-on, jump-off elevators can only be used by trained personnel, a restriction that was met with media mockery. The rule came into effect on Monday, affecting barring visitors from riding the so-called Paternoster elevators that survived in some German public buildings. The labor minister has cited serious accidents involving them in the past and has said regional authorities called for restrictions. Still, the rule drew criticism with mass circulation. Bill Daley arguing that civil servants would be better employed with serious things, for example, cutting less senseless bureaucracy. So, yeah. I don't know. Let the people get their arms and hands cut off. Yeah, why not, right? I don't know. Okay, Hyundai elevator, or Hyundai? So I said that right? I don't know. This is coming from Elevator World. Yeah, apparently they've installed 2 double-deck elevators in, where was this at? I think in Korea. South Korea, maybe? Seoul. There we go. So it's the first operation of double-deck elevators in the country, and I think some of the majors are currently looking for, or Thyssen, for a location here in Chicago to get their double-decker, or their double, I don't even know what it's called, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, into a location here in Chicago. Okay, next news article: elevator involved in deadly accident showed no malfunction. Again, that is the article link that links back to the Bloomington accident. So they're ruling out foul play, and again, just make sure you're aware of your surroundings. Okay, the May View newsletter has been released. If you're a woman in the elevator industry, or you deal with anything with elevators and you're a woman, I encourage you to join the View. It is a unique association in which women coordinate, they network, they help each other out. Martha Holgen is one of the main driving forces behind this. They offer quite a bit. I think it's awesome. And if you have any women that you work with that would be interested, they can be in the office, whatever. I encourage you to share this information with them. And if there's anything we can do, Martha, to help you promote your organization, be happy to do so. Okay, next Wednesday is the Chicago Elevator Cruise Association Cruise, or Chicago Cruise, I should say. The cruise is greatly supported by the elevator industry, the Chicago industry, the Chicago Elevator Association. We greatly appreciate that. So thank you so much. It's not too late to register, but make sure you get your registrations in as quickly as you possibly can. And thanks to Ed Shimolewski, Cornelius Walls, for helping make this event a success each and every year. Haven't looked at the weather yet. I know last year was kind of cold out there on the lake. I mean, and I'm hoping it's not the case this year, but we will see. And the last news article here is linked up is the Elevator World Photo Contest judging. It is open, people. It's not found. Oh, crud. I got to go back and relink that one. But anyway, I will do that before I post it. Get over here and look for some photos that you like. I think you'll enjoy some of them, and let the voting begin. All right, everybody. Well, that's going to do it for this week's show. As always, thank you for joining us today. Your time is greatly appreciated here. Hopefully you got something out of it. Again, remember, if you didn't learn anything at all, you must be dead. Anyway, and if you liked an article you want to share with a colleague or a friend, an enemy, lover, whatever, just do me a favor, say, hey, I heard this on the Elevator Radio Show, and that's all I'm asking for. All right? So everybody have a great rest of the week. Be safe out there. We'll talk to you next Wednesday before actually doing a show before the cruise, and we'll go from there. So have a great week, everybody. Be safe. Take care. Bye-bye.